This here, this is BB Motorsport. Today we are mounting rear trailing arms on the van. So the William van is upside down. Trailing arms already made. Nice lightweight trailing arms, super strong, 2.64 CDS, 38mm tube. Flat beam. Beam is already in. Come on in up, show them where the beam is. So basically we put this beam through. We've used box section, so it's flat. We put some rigidity and some strength into the flooring, pin it off the sides, and then we've marked out where these arms have to be. Obviously for the distance of that, we've worked out where these arms have to be to get the wheel, center of the wheel arch, and obviously the distance in to get your offset on the wheel so we know what offset we're on. So basically what we're going to do, we took 4 brackets off the shelf. We always put a spacer in just to give a bit of room for obviously when it moves under weld. So we put 4 spacers in, 1 either side of each rose joint. Knock him in, 1 on. Your glove don't get in the way. Bang it on. Just a normal nut rather than an eye lock, so you're not wasting money. And then basically we will sit them on like so. So you have 4 of them up against that beam, sit like that, nice and easy to get the bolts in and out. A little bit of movement either side just in case we do have to move the arms slightly in and slightly out. We'll have about 15mm to play with. We are going to brace this beam up, so we're going to come off here, off this beam, straight forward onto the back of the floor, which is like the footwell then. So the footwell is going to come off here, we're going to brace it back. And also we're going to come off the centre of there, bring it down, and then we're going to take it around, and then obviously the diff then is going to sit in the centre of here. The diff will then obviously have 2 output shafts, 2 output shafts onto drive shafts with 100mm CVs. That then will have our own alley hub assembly on the outside using a Mondeo bearing but on Sierra fixing. So the Mondeo bearing on Sierra fixing, it's on a slider here, but we'll never use it on a slider. We won't move the wheelbase, and then obviously we'll fit his wheel on the side. I'll come back to you in a bit with how we've got on. I'll get it together. Hopefully we'll have this thing rolling probably within a couple of days. We're going to try and keep it on its belly for a bit, or on its roof for a bit, just until we get the diff. But other than that, we'll keep coming back. Cheers all. mounted the arms. I'll be able to zoom in now. So basically we've welded them on, chopped them down. As I said, we're going to spacer it, which we've done. So we've got spacers both sides. We move the arm slightly either way just to give ourselves a little bit of leeway, depending on what offset of wheel we eventually run. Obviously tied it back into the floor, as you can see down there. We come round. So we've tied it into the floor here, tacked him in. That's strengthened this floor up, strengthened that beam up, and strengthened the front floor up. That's pulled that all in. The shocker system is going to go, thankfully, come around this way up. So the shocker system is going to fit through here. We weren't sure whether we give ourselves enough room on these arches when we made it. Obviously we tried to look at it and tried to get it done, but we have. So the opposite side of that, underneath, there we'll have two brackets on, and then we'll turret through and then mount the shockers underneath. So come down this way, so they will come through here, and we'll turret them through, and then we'll build some sort of strengthening on here to hold the back of the car. There's not going to be a lot of weight in the back of this thing, although it is going to try and pull you left, right and centre. When you've got 400 horse going through something this small, it's obviously going to put some stresses and strains on everything. Hence why we went for a box section here and box section here rather than tube. We don't like box section here, we're a tube company, we do everything in tube, but I just felt like we needed to get some more rigidity and more strength into the floor. It's a little bit all over the place. It's a 40, 50-year-old vehicle, so there's no real squareness in anything, so we're having to work a bit harder than we'd normally do, but it's coming good, it's coming good. So what we're going to do now, tip the car back over, we're going to mount the turrets, so mount the shocker, and then theoretically there's no reason why this can't get back rolling, probably by, I wasn't going to say by the end of the day, but we could probably have this rolling by the end of the day if we wanted to. We won't, because there's lots of other bits and pieces to do, but Rob, if you're listening, we're well away, mate. Cheers, Phil, see you soon. So we have done top shock mounting bar. Abby comes in and shows you what we've done. What we're going to do is we've braced it, so we've put the bar in across the top. Obviously we've had to go over the top of the fuel tank, which obviously isn't bolting in. Over the top of the fuel tank, down to each side, fish plated the sides of the arches there with 3mm, and then we're going to come off the side of here with some 45-degree angle tube, tie it all back in with some triangulation, and then we'll have the eyelet through there like that into an insert, half-inch insert. Then we can just bolt a cap on top with some nutserts, bolt a cap on top, nice and nice and tidy out of the way. Next job is then getting that fully welded in, getting the shockers mounted. If you come through the side, that's where the arm's going to fit. That's where the shock comes through, and that should all tie away really nicely. Still giving us room to have our wheel in. Inset of the wheel will probably be about an inch away from the shock. 20-25mm, more than enough clearance. You go as low as 10mm, 12mm, something like that, and then it'll be done. So next then will be, I think, mount the diff. So I think once we've got these shockers mounted, the diff will come hopefully in the next week or so from Elite, and then get that mounted. But as of probably this afternoon, this evening, like I said earlier on, that could be rolling if needed to be. We can put front suspension on. We've had the front suspension off because we've had some different bushes made, so that's all off, and then we're going to get back on with that. But it's we're not a million miles away. It's had a good weld up, might give it a good weld up, still a bit to do, but it's coming on. Cheers all, cheers, go! Finished, right, suspension is mounted. So what we've done is we put a bar across, so it acts as almost like a kind of strut brace, but not for obvious reasons. But it does stiffen all that arch up, etc, etc. Two lugs over, holds the top of the eyelet for the shock absorber there. So that's massively strong. Sealed it in the top here, so we put some plate in, some 3mm plate through the top as well. So that's, I mean, that's just really, really strong. We'll obviously notch that in and weld that up properly both sides. But that's in now. Let's go around that side up, show them with the shock on. So underneath now, what I'm going to do is I'll just knock this off, so that we can see that obviously that's a really long shock. It's not really there, but it works. Rotation's pretty good, swings nicely. We ain't going to need a massive spring on this. I said earlier on in the video that we'll probably need a bigger spring, but I don't think we will now because it's really upright. So I think we can get away with like probably like a 200 pound or something like that, maybe 250. There is going to be a full tank of fuel in the back, obviously, and the customer sits sort of there. So there will be a bit of weight, but work in progress. That one we're going to have to dial it in. I think what we're going to do now is probably build it up, get it rolling. We'll build the back end up. Mike's just jigging some arms now, making some arms. They'll be made by the morning. I think we'll put them on, get it rolling, like I say, get the motor in the front, speak to our friends at Simpson Exhaust. This is already booked in. See if we can just squeeze it in a bit earlier. If not, we'll. I think we're booked in mid-Feb anyway, something like that. So we'll get this off to Matt and then have it back. And if the diff doesn't turn up in the meantime, and then get the diff in. For now, though, it is 3 o'clock. We've had a really good day, and we're done. Hi all. Thanks very much for watching. Clean clothes today, back in the office. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was informative. I know it's only a little small, short sketch of what we're doing, but again, moving forward, we're going to be doing a lot more videos. We're going to make sure we try and keep you up to date with the build all the way through. It's a shame with that car that we'd already sort of got on with it. We built the cage, we built the front frame, sorted the geometry out for the front suspension, moved it from left-hand drive to right-hand drive, mounted the seats, etc, etc. So much work's been done on that. Don't get me wrong, there's still a fair bit to do, and we'll keep doing videos on it until the day it's finished. Until that time, look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks for watching.